Nah, something weird going on, bro. There are reports that P. Diddy's private jet is still active. Not only that, but it's active in a whole nother country. So the day after P. Diddy's private jet was spotted in the Auckland airport, it was also spotted in New Zealand. What's even weirder is no one can track the flight data on this jet, which is obvious because it's private, of course. But this poses a whole bunch of questions for me. One, is P. Diddy really in jail right now?
Hold up. Are the feds really lying to us that Diddy's in jail when he actually chilling in some secret facility? Child, get in here, because this mess with Diddy just took an unexpected turn after prosecutors were recently questioned and accused of allegedly lying about Diddy being in a maggot-infested cell when he's actually being treated like a king in some undisclosed location. Apparently, this is why prosecutors had no problem showing us photos of Diddy being arrested, but ain't shown us a single photo of his prison suit despite the countless court appearances that he's had these past couple weeks. We keep hearing reports about how he's doing in this apparent cell that he's been kept in and how badly he's doing, but nobody's been able to provide any proof that Diddy's actually in jail 24/7, and people are beginning to give prosecutors a major side eye. Now, most of y'all know Diddy was arrested a few weeks ago for SEX trafficking, racket, and transportation of escorts to the States. A lot of people was happy to see him get arrested because it was a long time coming, and at this point, some folks was beginning to think that he would probably get slapped with a bunch of lawsuits but would never actually go to jail, which is where he deserved to be after everything he's done and the amount of people's lives he's destroyed. What's even crazier is that Diddy had the audacity to try and escape this punishment by requesting for bail, but he was denied twice by two judges. He put up a bail bond of $50 million, as well as him and his mother's Miami properties, and submitted his passport and the passports of all of his kids, including the one that just got here. But the judges weren't having it and said Diddy was going behind them bars till his trial started. Things have gotten so bad for Diddy that just a few weeks ago, it was reported he wasn't eating the food that they were giving him in jail because he was scared they was trying to poison him. A source with knowledge of Diddy's investigation suspected that Diddy may not be eating behind bars, probably because he's being paranoid and scared of being poisoned. But apparently, this isn't the only thing that Diddy's had to worry about, because he's also reportedly sleeping on the floor as rats scutter around him. According to reports made by Radar Online just a few days ago, Diddy has been assigned to the special housing unit, where he is reportedly forced to sleep on the floor. It's also reported that the other inmates taunted Diddy with the lyrics from his songs. Diddy's living conditions in jail have been described as worse than billionaire turned offender Jeffrey Epstein. In fact, the popular journalist Jessica Reed Cross also did her own investigation into Diddy's living conditions, and she found he was placed in the special housing unit because leaving him in prison with the general population could have gotten him killed. The SHU, also referred to as the hole, is a small windowless room less than 10 by 10 feet. Not only that, but he has no books, no TV, and minimal privileges. And he's refused to eat food in the hole because he doesn't want to risk consuming food that may have been laced with human feces. Now, like I already said, a lot of people were pleased to hear about Diddy suffering because at the end of the day, jail ain't supposed to be a pleasant experience. And folks was happy to know that Diddy was experiencing the worst of it, especially after everything he's done. However, this joy didn't last very long, because just a few days ago, people started to speculate that all these updates we've been getting about this jail time is actually a lie, and that it's being used to distract us from the fact that Diddy is not in jail. These speculations started going around a few days ago when his family traveled all the way from Miami to New York to attend his court hearing. They were putting up this front of being this tight-knit family, and according to a source very close to them who spoke to People magazine, the kids were very happy to support their father. The whole family was. They are united in their support, and he was happy to see them all there. It was also reported that during this court appearance, Diddy was motionless, dressed in tan prison clothing, and stared straight ahead. When he walked out of the holding cell area, he waved at his family and attendants and hugged his attorneys. However, people couldn't help but notice once again that there was no actual footage of Diddy. I mean, yeah, he showed showed up to court because it's mandatory, but ain't no proof that he's actually in jail outside of these little updates we getting from the prosecutors. It's almost like they're trying to protect him and shield him from public scrutiny as much as they can. There haven't been any leaked phone calls or at least one photo of him in his prison suit. With how high profile this case is, people feel like at the very least TMZ would have leaked some kind of footage or photos to give us a visual update about Diddy. But there's nothing of the sort, like at all. What makes this whole thing even shadier is that at the time that Diddy was arrested at that hotel in New York, the feds had no problem handing over the footage of him being arrested to the media. But when it comes to his court appearances and the images to prove that he's actually in the Brooklyn Metropolitan Detention Center like they claim, nobody seems to have anything to show for it. Not only that, but people also found out that even though Diddy is apparently in jail, his private jet has been actively flying from one country to another, all over Europe. And the only time it's come to the US is on the days where he has to make a court appearance. People believe this is no coincidence, and that they specifically fly him to the US so he can appear to be in court, but that he's not actually in the cell they claim he locked up in.
Nah, something weird going on, bro. There are reports that P. Diddy's private jet is still active. Not only that, but it's active in a whole nother country. So the day after P. Diddy's private jet was spotted in the Auckland airport, it was also spotted in New Zealand. What's even weirder is no one can track the flight data on this jet, which is obvious because it's private, of course. But this poses a whole bunch of questions for me. One, is P. Diddy really in jail right now? I feel like the obvious answer would be yes, but would we be surprised if he wasn't? Is it possible that he's being snuck off to another country? And if so, will we ever be able to find out? Another question is, if that isn't Diddy on the private jet, then who is it on the private jet? And knowing Diddy's situation, why would they actively travel in the private jet? And there's a whole lot of artists that all of a sudden want to do tours in different countries and do tours all the way in the South and do tours all the way. I just find this time very interesting, but we'll stay locked in.
Now, I ain't saying that Diddy isn't actually in jail. That's what people are saying. And even though there's no way to actually prove it, the whole thing is beginning to look real suspect to a whole lot of people, and they starting to ask questions. As usual, people had their own thoughts about this. Like this person who said, "I'm starting to think that Diddy isn't even in jail at all. His private jet is still flying around overseas, and you all know that mugshot either wasn't Diddy or it was his fourth-rate clone." Another person said, "In my soul, I believe Diddy is not in jail. For one, if those tapes ever got exposed, the whole Hollywood would be in shambles. Diddy had ties to the CIA, FBI, and politicians." But now I want to know your thoughts. Do y'all really think Diddy ain't in jail? And do y'all think they're actually keeping him in some secret facility? Y'all been knew what to do. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And don't forget to click here to watch this other very messy video.